HW here. How the heck are you doing? Big updates in the modeling world, and probably the biggest update there's ever been in the modeling world. Because has we ever seen a platform go from like 2 or 3 years old and in probably like 5th, 6th, 7th place to maybe first place? Because that's kind of what's happening with HEADRUSH and this new update, this new NAM A2 update. These units are seriously in the running now for being considered maybe the thing you should buy and like best in class type units. Now let me explain. HW, you shameless shill, you. How much are they paying you to say this? Here's my interaction and my relationship with HEADRUSH, full disclosure. 3 years ago, they sent me a HEADRUSH Prime and asked me to do a video on it if I wanted to check it out because they knew I was into capture stuff. I did. I made 2 videos on it. One of them was comparing it to the Helix. I haven't heard from them for 3 years. And then maybe 3-4 weeks ago, I made a video where I was reacting to their Facebook post that said they were going to do NAM A2. And I said, this is brilliant. Everybody should do this. HEADRUSH might jump in the first place because they really do have all the features. They just really struggled to get a community going. And they reached out and said, hey, we feel the same way. That's why we're doing this. And they said, would you like to contribute some presets? So what you're hearing here at the top, that's in your unit already. That's a NAM A2 capture. It's a premium capture. You know, we sell these things, and but it's on your unit for free. It's the Match Brave, and to my knowledge, there's like man, I think there's 50 of these amps in existence, and I've never actually seen another one in person other than the one I own. So it's a Matchless Brave. It's kind of like a Matchless Marshall, and it's a great amp. And you have it now in your HEADRUSH along with this preset that I'm going to show you a little bit of stuff going on. And in that conversation, I said, hey, can you send me a Flex, the Prime Flex, the Flex Prime, the really small one? Because I'm really interested in a $400 or $500, whatever it is, unit that plays NAM and can go on a pedal board. I'm going to look at that in another video. But full disclosure, they gave me the piece of gear I'm playing 3 years ago, and they gave me another piece of gear that I requested from them that is not in this video, but I'm going to do another video on it in the future. But here's why I'm really excited about this. And all these opinions are mine. No one's hearing it before. I haven't sent this to anybody. It's literally it's getting shot and going right up on the internet. This is really a huge step forward because for me, I am a person who has been playing NAM on the computer. I've been a NAM user for years now and never really been able to take it out live. And there's been some other units that have played NAM that I just haven't fallen in love with. But I'll tell you, from playing the HEADRUSH and preparing this preset and everything, to me, this is the best sounding unit that NAM A2 is on. And for a couple of reasons. And the one I want to use for NAM, because right now, first of all, I think it's super feature rich. We've got a touchscreen. The capture tech and the HEADRUSH, you know, we made some stuff for it here at Tone Junkie. There just wasn't a huge community behind it. And to me, the super clones were a little, it was a little, you know, it was a little laborious to have to go to another piece of software and use it. It just felt like a lot. And so I haven't used this unit personally live myself. That's about to change in 2 weeks. I'm working on a preset that I'm going to be using live in place of my Quad Cortex. Because to me, NAM just sounds really, really good on here. Better than this. Maybe I'll do another video on that. But the amount of effects you get in a HEADRUSH unit that plays NAM 2 compared to this is night and day. This thing is pretty pricey for what you're getting, if you ask me. Now, it's small. That's why I want to check out the other small one. But let's look at this preset real quick. there's some ambient verb in there. You can do that with a lot of delay. You can just take it back here, turn off the chorus, and just rock with it, you know? So it's a really compelling unit now because it's kind of the big flagship NAM unit at this point. Touchscreen. It's got capture tech, its own plus NAM. You can get right to tone 3000 right from the machine. A ton of delays and verbs. Verbs on this unit, I'm going to give a 5 out of 10. Meaning there are good how do I put it? I'd give it maybe a little higher than that. The verbs that are in there are really good unless you're a worship guy, and then it's like you kind of gotta really work pretty hard to get the big sky cloud type of stuff out of the unit. The delays I think are very good. The drives I really like. I actually think the Klon drive in this thing somehow sounds better than my real Klon, and it just sounds like kind of beefier and fuller, which is really great. It's got a great sounding Timmy pedal, and it's got routing options, and the delays, like I said, are good. Choruses are good. I think this is a really actually exceptional sounding kind of chorus. I just think if you put on paper what this thing is, it's hard to beat. And I'm really not aware of any platform that's sort of like a big all-in-one that really plays NAM A2 at this point. The only other one being maybe the Ampero Stage, but that is a smaller unit, more limited in the number of buttons you get, and it's much more on par with the Flex Prime, which is why I wanted to check that out. But if you want an all-in-one kind of big guy, to me, it is this HEADRUSH. And if you look at the prices of these things, they're really competitive. Right now, the HEADRUSH Prime, the big boy, $9.99 on Sweetwater. And it plays NAM, it's got a drum machine, Dropbox enabled, you can throw stuff on here. If you're into this whole singing thing, it's got, it's got auto-tune. I never use any of these features. I'm a guitar player. I'm not usually using that type of stuff. Great looper in there, a lot of stuff. HEADRUSH Cloud, tons of stuff up on the cloud, and available from a lot of makers and stuff make stuff for HEADRUSH. The core is $6.99. To me, this is one I might buy actually, because this to me is actually maybe the best way to get NAM A2 onto your pedal board. Still have a lot of functionality with the unit, and be able to put pedals all around it. And has the same size touchscreen as the big guy, a 7-inch touchscreen, which a lot of people really seem to like. I actually really like using the HEADRUSH and maybe the TMP the most in terms of using the actual screen. Reason being, the pedals look like the pedals that they're emulating, which is a strange psychological thing, but I actually think it's more important than we realize. I really like looking down and seeing that green pedal. It just tells my mind it's the green pedal rather than seeing, a word or something blocked out, or I like seeing the Klon, I like seeing the compressor. These are all very familiar looks to me. And so there's something about just the visual association that I actually think it adds to my experience. I feel a little more like I have the gear. Big boy $9.99, $6.99 for the core. That's really compelling for a pedal board, especially, like I said, against something like this. It's half the price of something like this. And I'll tell you about this in another video. I had to spend some money to get this thing to sound really how I thought it should sound. But anyway, HEADRUSH Flex Prime, which is the little guy, which I'm going to do another video on because I think it's kind of a silly deal. That's really in now the price point of an Ampero Stage 2 or a Hotone or something like that. And this has kind of, to me, a much bigger ecosystem, nicer touchscreen, Tone 3000 right there on your device. It does a lot more. It has all the stuff that the bigger units have. So it's to me, if we got a reverb update out of this unit, I would be saying man, does this thing on paper have everything the Stadium has? Does this thing on paper have almost everything the Quad Cortex has? Like a reverb update to me gets us to top 3 things out there in terms of functionality use. Another thing, these graphics you're seeing up here are the editor, but it's not a traditional editor. You just put it on your Wi-Fi and you type in a URL. It's a web browser based editor, and it works, I mean, pretty much flawlessly. I haven't run into any problems with it. So HEADRUSH is onto something right here. They're onto something really compelling, and I think it's really unique that it's a unit that's 3 years old, that all of a sudden, when you put all the features on paper, it looks like it could be number 1. I want to know what you think in the comments down below, because I know that I'm making a HEADRUSH video saying it's better than all the other stuff. You know, I'm not exactly saying that, but what I am saying is like, hey, this thing is actually like really up there now. This capture tech, like, what are you waiting for? Touchscreen, lots of effects that sound good, most accurate capture tech in the world, a variety of sizes at different price points to fit everything from an all-in-one big pedal board to just a piece of your pedal board to a little, I mean, I think $500 is fairly affordable for something that emulates all this stuff. So I think we'll put $500 Flex Prime in the category of affordable, all the way down to an affordable kind of little box. That is compelling.